I saw a quote from an Octopath Traveler producer that the intention was to make a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy VI. That fits because throughout my first 20 hours with Square Enix's latest old-school RPG, that's the game that kept coming to mind. I have some minor issues with the introductory hours of this game, but the foundation laid for the 60-hour or so experience is firm, and the promise for a masterpiece is kinda lingering. Octopath Traveler has a disparate cast of 8 heroes that each have their own story and combat style. You pick one to start, and that becomes your protagonist, who is, as far as I can tell this early on, always in your party. After completing your hero's introduction, your first 10 hours involve roaming around in a circle around the map, collecting the other 7. It's a bit slow-paced, even more so if you have familiarity with the heroes from prior demos. Everything falls into a routine as you circle the map, but thankfully each region is visually interesting and each story is distinct, even if a little bit cliched to start. This opening period has a gentle difficulty, very much encouraging experimentation with each hero as they join your party in the turn-based battle mechanics. I picked Hannet, the weird-speaking fighter who can provoke people into fights with her captured beasts. She quickly became a slayer for me, mowing down foes as my party leader. I also liked Cyrus, the scholarly magician who can investigate people for information. He's a more classic mage with fire, ice, and lightning attacks, a good counterpart to my melee-focused heroine. As per the nature of the game, my final 2 party spots have been a little bit of a revolving door depending on the situation or story segments. I generally try to have each of the 4 types of path actions represented, so the rest of my parties, I got Ophelia or Primrose, who have the guide and the lore abilities that bring a character along with you, and then there's Terion and Tressa, who have a steal and purchase ability so you can steal or purchase items from different NPCs. The path actions are a neat overall twist that have so far led to some rudimentary puzzles in the intro. It seems like the side story missions will be where they get a little more complex. Each town has a few side stories at this point, and some of them are as simple as having the right items, whereas others require seeking out information in nearby areas or looking for a partner for a lost soul. The teasing intro text is subtle enough to make you think, and at this point some of the side stories have still low-key baffled me, but I think it might be because I have to explore the area a little bit more. After those first 10 hours that actually scale up in difficulty, so your first hero's introduction is meant for level 5, but by the time you get to the end of all 8 characters, the recommended level is around 12. After those introductions, the recommended level for each character's second chapter is generally 20+. There's a big step up there that led to a little bit of grinding for me, but in that grinding I messed around with side stories and found new areas. Challenging myself with this battle system is also fun, and as long as you save at the frequent save spots, not punishing. It really encourages exploring the relatively open world, where you can kind of go anywhere at any point, you just might get your butt kicked. Combat is reminiscent of the devs' work with the Bravely series, but not so focused on a job system. Characters attack with different weapons and magic, and the type of attacks can be weaknesses to enemies. Each enemy enters a stunned break status when hit with a weakness enough times to break their shield. The battles generally play out as figuring out a weakness and then beating it down to stun foes. You can also use boost points to power up your attacks. They accrue 1 per turn, so sometimes it's worth waiting to break an enemy and then unleash hell. Leveling up is relatively simple, with a few points of customization so far coming from your character's equipment and skills. Equipment is, bought and found across the land as per usual in RPGs. Job points build up as you play and can unlock skills, chosen from a list of a few. As more skills are earned, passive support skills are unlocked. It seems like as the game progresses, this will get a lot deeper, with a lot of options for skills and kind of customizing each character to your liking. The combination of the combat, story, and gorgeous overworld have made for an enticing beginning to Octopath Traveler. I hope the pace keeps quickening as I get deeper into this world, and eventually the stories of the party members start to intersect. It's weird to play this game and not really be certain that it's building to some world-ending calamity, because right now it's a lot of personal moments for your heroes and the townspeople that they come across. While I do hope these Octopaths cross, I don't even know if I'd complain if the whole game was just 8 distinct stories across a beautiful world. We'll see if my hope and optimism for the quality of Octopath Traveler holds up. Our full review will be up a little bit before the July 13th launch of the game on Nintendo Switch. Let us know what you think in the comments, and who will you start your adventure off with? I started with Hannet, so, let us know.